Hi Greedy 3Ds, if you've been following Wicked on their Patreon site, you'll see that they've released two versions of Rocket the Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, if you're going to paint him up, but you're not quite sure how to paint his head, then hopefully I can help you today. This is Rocket. Oh, he's in focus, wonderful. This is what I've done with him. Now, it didn't take long to paint him. It was fairly easy to do. There's a couple of tricks of the trade, and I will show you today how we managed to get a Rocket all painted up. Rocket has been 3D printed on an Ultracraft Reflex from Hay Gears using some Sunlu basic resin. Now, once he's been cleaned up a little bit and I've got some of the support settings off him and I've just sanded down his whiskers a little bit, I've given him some Chaos Black primer just to give him a layer all over. It's important to give him a black primer because when we go on to the next colour, which is Rawhide Brown, I'm not going to completely inundate him with Rawhide Brown. I want some of the black to come through. I want that black to show in the background as a little bit of shadowing, as a little bit of a shade, if you will, just to add something else to his face, so he just doesn't want to be completely brown. Now, this brown from Army Painter is one of their air paint sets, and it's a wonderful colour. Once we've got that on and it's been allowed to dry thoroughly, I'm going to take another Army Painter paint. This is Fey Pink, and using my airbrush, I'm really carefully going to spray it all around the inside of his mouth. I want it on the top of his palate, I want it around his tongue, I want it around the inner parts and the outer parts of his mouth. I also want it all across the teeth, because when I paint the teeth, I'm going to paint the teeth with an ivory colour, but I want some of the pink to show through the teeth and just above and just below them on the bottom gum as well. So make sure you get all of that across there and try to be really careful here, don't get it all over your brown. And that's what he looks like when he's all done and it's all on there. Two shades so far, not too difficult, is it? We're going to some brown sand colour, just a Vallejo. You can use any light brown here, but all I want to do is just dry brush this across him to give him another shade. So we've got the black primer, we've got the brown airbrush paint on there, and now we've got a lighter colour brown just going right the way across. I just want to make the edges of him stick out a little bit and just change some shades all over. Next step is to take some skeleton bone, and if we look at reference pictures of Rocket, you can see that certain parts of him are very light. Above his eyes, across the bridge of his nose, across his ears, underneath his chin, all those areas are a lot lighter. So just take your skeleton bone on an airbrush and keep going over it. We don't want to change it completely white or anything like that. We just want to give it a shade across. So lightly dry brushing it across to keep the brown coming through on the designated areas, not all over, just the certain areas that we've looked at some reference pictures if you're not sure. And that's what he looks like already. You can see that Rocket is starting to look like a rocket. All I've done next is painted his eyes black, painted his nose black, and a thin black line around his lips. I didn't show you that because I didn't think I needed to. It's a simple case of just painting in some black. Next step, using a couple of colours, starting off with ivory, paint his teeth. Paint all of his teeth, inside, outside. Don't paint the pink in between his teeth, paint his teeth separately, and then move on to pallid bone and just paint the parts where his gum joins his teeth, just to add a certain other colour in there. And take a brush and just pull it down his teeth and mix the two together ever so slightly. Easy peasy, and that's what he looks like. Next step, and the final step really, gloss, varnish, and get it all across him. You want it in his eyes, you want it all through his mouth, you want it across his gums, you want it all over him. And that's it. Done, dusted, simple, easy peasy. So I said it wasn't going to be a long video, and there you go. There's only a few steps that I've used to get Rocket looking the way he looks, and I think he looks really nice. If you want to do even more, you can do some more to the eyes. You can add brown irises and pupils, etc. I don't think it's necessary at this scale. With some Vallejo gloss on there, his eyes just pop and look beautiful. If you found it interesting today, then subscribe to the channel. Think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. But more importantly for me, I'd like to know what you think about what I've done today. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Would you have done anything any different? Thank you to my Patreons. You guys are absolutely marvellous. And stay tuned for more videos from Greedy 3D. Let me know in the comments, is there anything you'd like me to paint or anything you'd like me to do? Keep it clean, please. And I'll see you soon next time on Greedy 3D.